post the link in our Gitter for anyone who wants to watch, and then we'll go. It's loading. Come on. There we go. Okay, and I didn't want to pause. I just wanted to unmute. Cool. All right. And then I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here so we can kick things off. And okay. Okay, can everyone see this all right?
Yep.
Great. So yeah, I'll just start us off with kind of the quick summary. Big thing that we got out is another update to the preview for the extension for both the Chrome and Mozilla add-on stores. So this bumps us to the Canary version of Axe, which we got some good performance improvements out of. Although on big sites, that's still a fair amount of time spent during analysis there. And then we did a pretty significant refactor of the compat API hint, which I think I've got sitting over here in the list somewhere. I'm not filtered by milestone right now, am I? There we go. That helps. So yeah, found a few bugs while we were in there and patched those. So there are a few issues around properly ignoring and allowing checks through around at supports blocks. And then we got a significant perf bump because we found a couple patterns where we were making some pretty expensive queries while we were digging in there. So for example, youtube.com has been one of the pages we've spent a fair amount of time analyzing where we got significant improvements there through Axe. I think we shaved off about a minute of the analysis time that we were attributing to Axe. And then for what was being attributed to the compat hint, it was taking about 40 seconds of the time, and after our refactor, it took about 12. So some good wins there.
Wow. How? What was the issue? Or
what was the issue? Yeah, so the big thing that was taking the longest piece of time is queries for location information. We actually found a bug in there where the way that we were gathering the location information was causing it to be gathered for every element on the page, where we only need it for elements that are referenced in reports. And to get that information, we do a comparison between the DOM snapshot that we have and the original HTML document to try to assess if the element that's being referenced was part of the original source. And so that comparison there is not particularly cheap. So to run that for every single element in the page is where we were spending most of that time.
Okay, wow, cool.
So yeah, there's probably some other minor improvements that came from some tweaks to how we were walking the AST, but I suspect that that piece right there was the bulk of the win. Some minor updates along with that to the ignore list. So specifically what we've started filtering out now is, let's see if I can find the link to the PR here, actually, while I have this open, because that should have been referenced. Got disconnected. Let me open a new tab. I'd like to actually pull up the new ignore list here. Yep.
It's the second item, right?
Huh? Oh, thank you. Thank you, David.
No problem.
Overlooking it right in front of my face. Okay, so yeah, I think in here, if I jump to the Markdown file has the update there as well. For our ignore list. So yeah, the big thing that we added to the ignore list based on the testing so far is, a lot of sites are styling form controls in a way that I'm not expecting that us giving them feedback is going to result in anything they want to change. And so specifically filtered out just appearance none across the 2 prefixes that are supported and included the unprefixed version as well. And part of what that means for this hint too is previously we only had the capability to do ignores by like the property name or a specific value. So this enhanced that a little bit so that we could actually do a specific value of a given property. That way, if someone's using some of the other less common uses of the appearance property, we can still catch that. Just the none case we wanted to target here. Okay. Find my way back. There we go. Okay, so yeah, that was the change with HintCompat API. Those updates have already been released to both the extension stores, and actually as of this morning, they're both live. The Mozilla one went live first pretty quickly, and then the Chrome Web Store update took a couple more days. We also made progress on updating our syntax highlighting colors to try to match the context of the browser we're running in. We've got a draft PR that's still in progress on that. David's been working on it. And we're pretty far along with kind of the styles for the Fluent design system. We've put some of the base ones in place for Photon, but we were hoping that's another place that we could get some more help finishing up. Well, what I'd like to do kind of with that is have us we'll kind of open a task for these places where we still need to finish up the styling in Firefox so that we can make it easy to identify those and assign those out so we can go through and wrap them up. Is Victoria's not out right now, is she?
She was out for a few weeks in Europe, but she's back now. Yeah, we're all meeting up next week for an all hands, so we're going to go over that and get some people signed in, and I also check around in the community how people can help there as well. Because these are all like good first proxy anyway, so probably there's people we can also activate there.
Yep, and anyone who gets involved here, we'll be on point to make sure if there's any questions or anything on how we've set things up, don't hesitate. We'll help.
Perfect.
So great, yeah, I'm really looking forward. I love the design that she's put together for there as well. I know we want to, like Stephanie and I would like to set up some time to chat with her just to see if there's anything else we want to share between the 2 designs in terms of features, functionalities, or small tweaks.
Yeah, I had my concerns like how far we wanted to diverge from the current design, where we're going to converge with anywhere where we make something different. It will be extra maintenance and testing needed. Make sure it's working. I'm not sure like if the tests run both designs right now, if it's just like presumed to be more of a skin. So my assumption was we do more of a skin. And right now the designs are actually pretty close.
Yeah, they're pretty close
in most contexts. So
no, I'm not too worried. And there's some of the things she did that we looked at and we're like, oh yeah, we like that. We'd like to pick it up. Some of the other things, it's like, okay, that won't quite work in our design language, so we'll keep those different, and that's fine. For the most part, obviously, colors are the easiest thing to maintain. But we're set up to allow small tweaks in layout and stuff here where it makes sense too. So I'm not worried about anything on that. I just want us to chat and align as much as makes sense.
Great.
Okay. Let's see. Otherwise, outside of that, we've got some ongoing work that we didn't get to in our backlog for accessibility testing. Specifically here, this is going to be kind of setting up some stubs around our extension so we can run it as in the context of a regular web page, making it easier to actually use webhint and Axe against the extension to do that first pass of accessibility testing. We'll be doing some manual stuff as well. And then the task around time spent, we already talked about. So we've got progress there. I'm not sure I want to fully close this out yet, as I think there's still some sites where the overall time spent is longer than we'd like it to be. But we're definitely moving in the right direction. That's still an area we'd love to hear more feedback on as we get more people self-hosting. Speaking of which, we sent mail last week to our broader internal team as well to ask more self-hosters to install the extension and give us feedback. So we should start bringing in more there. And then this is a task for me still to write up some proposals for some minor tweaks to the MDN schema that I'm going to move forward to the next sprint, but I still really want to get this done. It's not anything that's urgent. It's helping us cover cases that I've identified that I know we're blind to right now. I'm more worried about false positives at the moment than I am about missing opportunities, but down the line, we'll want to get those taken care of. And then Stephanie, I know you were traveling a lot this sprint.
Yep.
So I would imagine you may not have had time to work on icons for the Fluent design.
No, I only have 2 left, but I didn't have time to finish them.
That's okay.
This sprint.
You had a, yeah, you were overseas for a bit and a couple of conferences and a lot to do. So that is okay. Cool. So that's kind of where we sit. So the pieces sitting here, other than kind of waiting for additional feedback on time spent, we'll probably move forward here to the next sprint and then pick up a couple other items. Speaking to other parts of the project, Utsav did send me mail since he wouldn't be able to make it today to give a little update on one of our other projects, which is converting to a serverless architecture for our online scanner. This doesn't affect the extension at all, but it's one of the pieces where we're wanting to make more efficient use of some of the resources, and also in the process we're looking to make our online scanner code be capable of going multi-cloud, so that you could run it in either Azure or AWS. We actually have a meeting later today with Charlie, who had reached out to us on the repo, interested in trying to run some of the infrastructure in AWS specifically. So we'll see if we're moving forward there. So far, that's been progressing well. We've had a few minor issues with MongoDB. And David,
yeah, we are not sure if it's MongoDB or Azure Function, but
Thank you.
yeah,
or Azure Functions, or something with Azure Functions connecting to a MongoDB instance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're still kind of.
For now, everything.
We have it all up in a staging environment right now, right?
Hello?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, now.
Okay, I was saying you have it all up in a staging environment now, correct?
Yeah, and everything works fine with regular logs, but if we start analyzing a lot of URLs, then at some point we start having connection problems, and yeah, we are not sure if it's because of the functions or because of the database.
Okay.
Yeah, he's taking a look to that.
Good. Yeah, and then the other thing we had going on is I was on site. I mentioned to you, Harold, I was on site in Redmond last week, so I was going through a higher than normal set of meetings versus actually writing code. So I was glad we were able to still get the things done that we did. But is there anything else, Harold, that you need from us at the moment that would help move things forward?
No, it's cool. Cool to have the newest version. I'll try it out. especially the performance aspects. I think they're the most critical improvement for me to check out. And then the next step on our side, I wanted to kick off the blog post, which already created a template, which is pretty empty. So spending more time this week to kind of get that out.
Would it be helpful for you and I to maybe set up some time just one-on-one to put that?
I'll own that one. So this week, probably want to get most of the outline done and start on the draft. And because next week, all of us are basically meeting in one place and we won't get much actual work done.
Mm-hmm.
So mostly planning. So but within this quarter, I still want to just get it out so we can get our feedback. And that's probably the question, like how we want to get that feedback, right? So
okay,
I'll set something up. The biggest outcome, just like show that we're working on this and that it's like live on AMO and live for more browsers and for people to try it out.
sounds good. All right, sounds like this week's good for trying to at least get an outline together, you said. And
then next week, more asynchronous, I'll probably still work on it to get it out, and then have it out by basically within 2 weeks. I'll check to get a hex slot this week. This week I'm gonna check with the tutorial to have a slot locked in. So
okay, you want me to try to propose some time for us to get together?
Yeah, sure. That's
okay. Then I'll do that when we're done here. Okay. Otherwise, anything else anyone wants to discuss while we're here? I think we can call it then. Thanks everyone for attending. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you.